This is Brian Drummond here, the OG voice of Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z, and you're watching Anime Secrets. It's over 9,000!
Hello everyone. How's everyone doing? All right, so we got round two. So thank you guys for sticking around, and for some of you that came, welcome. So I want to go ahead and get this party started. So I want you guys one more time to stand up on your feet. First time ever, we're gonna have all the Hokages together. That's an honor. And it's for you guys, thanks to NostalgiaCon. So give it up for them. All right. So, right out the gate, let's bring on Miley Flanagan, Dave Wittenberg, Debi Mae West, Tony Oliver, Steve Kramer, Jamieson Price, and Peter Lurie. These things work?
I'm sorry, I was just told that we have to go to the airport. So thanks for being here, and nice to see you guys. Now you get a chair, though.
Yeah.
Miley Flanagan, everybody.
Jamieson gets a chair.
Bye! Thanks!
Naruto. The only.
All right. What are you going to say? He's there, of course.
She has to go to New York, but she loves you guys. I think we're going to do a quick picture.
I love that everybody right now is going, is this a bit?
Yeah.
We're going to go ahead and do a picture first, guys.
Going to come back and roll?
All right, picture first.
The Hokages. And the Nine Tails. One more time for Miley Flanagan. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Everybody smile. I can see you. Okay, ready? Arms in the air. 1, 2, 3. Hey!
All right, perfect. How is Houston treating you guys?
Horrible. Kidding. Are you kidding? It's Houston.
Yes. It's beautiful. It's the first time I've ever been here, by the way. Nobody told me of two things I wish I would have known ahead of time. One, it's remarkably humid here. And two, your flies are attack flies. They go right for your open nostrils.
They're pretty big.
They are. It's ridiculous.
Where did you get a fly in your nostril?
I don't want to talk about it.
That's a story for another day.
I came to Houston a day early to go to a concert, and when I was walking in, they canceled it.
What concert was it?
It was Flaming Lips, and it was a sad thing. I think that something happened to I didn't go because they canceled, but I went to Post. That was a really cool spot. Does everyone know Post? It's really neat. Really cool. I had ice cream. Anyway, that's how Houston treated me.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad that you're having a great time with bugs and all. So, and amazing fans. All right, so jumping right into our amazing segment, guys. I don't know if you know this, but is this the first time you've all been together on stage?
Yes.
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 Give it up for all of them, guys.
We were sitting in order, and now we're not.
Well, there wasn't enough room. Would you like to shift everybody down?
Whatever you like.
We're good. Yeah.
Okay, so each of you voiced a Hokage who carried immense responsibility. What did it mean to you personally to step into the role of a Hokage in Naruto?
Oh, and to me, okay. First of all, I had no idea what a Hokage was when I first started. To me, I have to understand, for me, the show was just a 6-line video game that I was in. And then suddenly I get a phone call, oh, he's in the anime too. And so I had no idea the impact he had to the entire story. So it wasn't until after I was done and started coming events like this that I started to realize who Minato was, what it meant to be a Hokage, what it meant to be the 4th Hokage, and what his relationship was to the rest of the story. So it felt great to have work, but it feels much better now to know what it meant to everybody.
I will say I'm the only woman Hokage. No, she's Naruto. So the only female character that is a Hokage. So that is quite meaningful. I had no idea. I just went to work and I had to cry on my first day because my brother and my boyfriend had both been killed, and that was my first session. And becoming Hokage, I also didn't know what that meant, and I also didn't know that Naruto is actually based on a book from the 1700s in Japan. Did you all know that? It's called Jiraiya the Gallant, and it's about 3 Sannin warriors, Tsunade, Jiraiya, and Orochimaru. And yes, and it's still being shared in Japan to this day. And I did not know about that book either until I didn't really know that that's what Naruto is based on. So I don't think any of us as voice actors, I usually never talk at these things. Who put something in my coffee? Anyway, I don't know if any of us really knew what we were getting into, or that we would have fans who adore us and are so loving and allow us to like share our hearts and our joy with. I had no idea. So I'm so grateful. I mean, it's been a long freaking time since I've done a Naruto, but thanks to everybody. And I'm very, very proud that I got to lend my voice to Lady Tsunade because she is a badass. Let's go out drinking!
Famous line from the series, by the way.
Oh, it is.
And as far as I knew, there was only one Hokage, and it was the 3rd Hokage. All these other people, I had no idea they were around. No, I didn't. And I was one of the writers and directors on this series for a while, and I still didn't know that there were other Hokages.
Shame on you.
I know. And I don't know where you guys came from, or when you came along, or what episodes. I mean, there had to be a 1st and a 2nd before I came along, and I didn't know that. It was just the 3rd Hokage. He was the only guy. I'm ashamed. Sort of.
There's nothing to be ashamed of. Before we go too much further, I would like to take a second and recognize 3 literal voiceover Hokages that are here right now. Steve, Jamieson, and Tony. We all, those of us that are slightly younger, are standing on the shoulders of the work that these guys did. When I was a kid, I heard these guys and things and I didn't even know who they were. And then when I got to meet them, it was just phenomenal. But the work that you guys did made it possible for us to do what we're doing now. So how about a round of applause for the 3 OGs?
I guess I'm the 1st Hokage.
Numero uno, Peter.
And the last to speak. Hashirama. Like everybody, I think I got a chance to do anime back in the early 90s, and the first one I ever did was a show called Fist of the North Star. Thank you.
I feel like there's a joke in there.
No. I'm sure it'll be a porn at some point. Like everyone laughing, one lady went, oh God, we're gonna do that now. I did a show called The Big O after that. Thank you. Major Don Dostin fans. But when I got the chance to do this, they just kind of gave me an overview, and I said to the producer, I go, so am I like the Obi-Wan Kenobi of the universe? And they said, yes, go with it. And I said, but I die in the 1st season. They said, don't worry, you'll be back a million times. So it's a lot of fun. I think we all learned something. What I think is really neat, this is my first, I'm a Los Angeles boy through and through. This is my first one leaving the state, and it's amazing how much guys love this. And as I'm sure we've all said at one point or another, if it's not for you folks and your passion, we're nothing. And I say thank you to all of you. Give yourself a
Thank you.
And we're very thankful for you guys as well, for sure. For making our childhoods very special and for allowing us to like be part of that world as well. So thank you guys. So Naruto, Kakashi, Tsunade, Minato, Hiruzen, Tobirama, and Hashirama are all such different leadership styles. Which traits from your Hokage do you admire the most?
I admire his impatience for paperwork. I also, and I will say this just like completely non-biased, but I also feel like him being behind a desk is a waste of his skill set. You know, if you get a borderline unkillable ninja with like mastery of every conceivable element style, you don't put that guy behind a desk, you put that guy in the field. That having been said, I also think he has a quiet disdain for the outfit, which is why he never wears it, which I totally understand, because there are certain things that people make me wear that I'm like, I'm not wearing that, ever, no. Like, I'm comfortable in it. This right here, this is my comfort zone. Shorts and a t-shirt, I'm good. Some strange hat, large cloak, you know, inability to use my powers, I'm not doing that. Not doing it. So I think his general impatience is something I identify with.
It's funny, I'm going to go the opposite way. Minato's general patience. He's a
He had to
patient.
deal with me as a kid.
True, but he's a patient teacher.
Yes.
And so, and I'm a dad, and he was a dad, so it was kind of like I got to play a cool dad, which was nice. And it's easy to be cool when you're dead when the show starts. But but I always liked that quiet patience and his ability to kind of know exactly how to teach someone something, even though it's not the way you would think you'd do it. The intuition, I guess, is the trait. I guess. I'm gonna hand this to her now.
Me next. Well, Tsunade is so many things because she's a powerful warrior, and a healer and a teacher, but she also has this reality that she loves to drink and she loves to gamble, and she's very big boobs, which I can't identify with. But I really like that she's really a very well-rounded woman, and I do identify a lot with her, and you know, when I still have never watched the whole series, but I try to catch up on what I can, and I do feel very grateful to play a very powerful woman, but she's funny and she's crazy just like a woman, and she's all over the place like a woman can be. So yeah.
I identify with Debbie's boobs too.
Here, here.
Sorry, that's the truth. I identify with the third Hokage's age. Everything hurts. Doesn't matter what you do, it hurts. If it doesn't hurt, it pops and cracks. That's just life. I did identify with his age. I was one of the older actors in the group, and that's probably why they cast me in that part. I said, you don't have to do anything to your voice. It's perfect just the way it is. And so I identified with that. I identified with, I liked his patience with Naruto and the others that he was training. And I found that, I did him for a long time. He was in a ton of episodes. So I got to be very comfortable in his skin. And nowadays, people say, oh, you sound just like him. I wasn't trying, but I sound just like him. Jeez.
If I could add a general, okay, you go.
Well, Tobirama is a little severe, but I think what I can identify with Tobirama is his dedication to doing things for the good of the people, of the village, and not allowing his hatred of the Uchiha to get in the way of keeping the village going and protecting the people. So his dedication to that, I think, is something I can identify with. Dave?
Well, I was just going to add, just to follow on that, I think that the one thing that all of the Hokages have in common is that they understand that they are in a job that is bigger than themselves. That it's not about making things better for them, it's about making sure that the village continues to thrive and survive, and the people that need help get it, and the people that need to be straightened out get straightened out, and that as a general thing, it's not about them so much as it's about the people that they work for. And in Kakashi's case, he didn't even want the job. They just sort of said, well, you're the guy that's getting it. And that, I think, was true for a number of the Hokages. And someone who doesn't want the power is not going to abuse the power. They're going to use it to help other people, which is what I think all of them had in common.
I was fixated. There was a man with a marsupial on his shoulder live, just walking by. I thought that was... They now have animals. You know, they say like, well, you're allowed to have this dog in here because it's your, what's the term? Emotional support. That was his emotional support marsupial. Nice job. In tradition with what I just said, I think what I love the most about Hashirama is, like it or not, he does have a sense of humor. And if you had all the weight of the Hokages on your shoulders and you died and then come back, and he knows, like every time they're like, basically the other ones are saying, the Narutos are saying, why do you have to leave? And I think the line is, when you live, there will always be war. Or I'll do like, when you live, there will always be war. Which is Base's way of saying...
Round of applause, everyone.
Thank you.
Can you do that again and just pick up the pace just a little bit?
Because
you really didn't match them out.
Can you add 3 flats there? Really, there will always be war. And I think what it is if he knew no matter how much they needed him and how much the village needed him and this and that, he's not really supposed to be here. You know that line? I'm not really supposed to be here. Luckily, I will be here when you need me. But, you know, I think you can apply that to our own lives, because there's times where I think every one of us have had loss, and you think to yourself, if only grandma, grandpa, brother, sister, if only they were alive right now. But then you realize you got to remember the good stuff, because they've moved on. And I think that's probably the best way to go. But he's a funny guy. Anyway, moving on. He's a funny guy.
Okay, so, you know, there are many beautiful scenes throughout Naruto, and you guys have been part of so many of them. So when you're looking back, whether a particular scene or a line, as a Hokage or just as your characters, was there anything in particular that really sticks out to you more than another? Whether it was because of your ability to perform it, whether because when you were performing it during a time you were going through something personally, professionally, what scene, what moment, or what line sticks out to you the most?
All right,
yeah. A while ago.
Point. Tony will do everything. It's the part that got to me most, that really touched me most, was when he reveals himself to Naruto as being his father in that kind of semi-dream world. It's I call it my Luke, I am your father moment. But it meant a lot more in that the emotions of the moment were so strong, and Miley had already recorded when I went in to do my stuff, so her responses were there, and it made the whole scene really meaningful emotionally to me as we were going. I related to my own children and all that stuff. But also, it's the time when I turned over and saw Mary Elizabeth, who was our director, wonderful director, she's so good, you know, with a tear dropping down her face. So I knew that we were all together in that moment, and those are the best moments when you're acting, and the ones that are most meaningful to me when I look at a show.
I don't know if you guys know how this stuff is recorded. We don't all go in the studio together and record the episode. We literally go in one actor at a time. So you hear, if you're lucky, you hear some of the other actors around you, so you can play off of them. But a lot of times you don't. You're the first one in, or the person you're gonna record with hasn't recorded yet. And so you have to bring up all that emotional stuff and make it work with the other actor who's not there and hasn't recorded anything. So it's different. But all these guys know how to do it.
It's funny, I'm glad you brought that up, because I can remember many a time when they said, okay, this is going to be a real gut-wrenching part in the storyline, but I've got nobody to play off of. And there would be times where you also have to deal with something when you're dealing with anime. And this goes back to Speed Racer, Kimba the White Lion. For those of you with the blank stare, it was a while ago, you don't have to worry about it. You're like,
A long time ago.
Oh yeah.
come on, Kip Daniel the baboon, come on, come on.
I remember, but
Yeah, no.
I'm the oldest guy on the
He's
stage.
like-
I know Star Blazers. That's all I got.
I love Tony was like, God, Pete's older than I thought. Jesus. I guess all that vampire blood is just paying off. But the reason why I bring that up is because, and I give it to every one of the folks here who also do double duty being a director, because it's not easy. You'll come in and you'll get a written line, and they'll be like, and life will be great, and we will be together. And blah, blah, blah. And they're like, okay, we're about 25 flaps over. How do we convey that in the 12 flaps we have to deal with? So that's real difficult, but I give these guys real props, because there would be times where you have nobody to play off of. It's an emotional moment, and you do your bit, and I'm sure you were there a lot of times. You'd say, oh, I hate to say this, but can I do it again? Because I think maybe if I deliver it more like this. And a lot of times you're so pressed for time that you got to just give it to them. Steve Kramer, my God, how many times you just went, well, I don't wanna, but okay, and it ended up being the right move. I'm being silly, but it works out that way. Not an easy job, especially for the directors. Well done.
Well, that's like my two favorite moments in the whole series. One of them I'm not even in, and it was the one you were just talking about, when Naruto and Minato have that whole conversation, and as you're disappearing, he's yelling, tell mom I'm eating ramen and all that kind of stuff. It's just that I needed like a half an hour break after that. I'm like, I'm not going to emotionally recover for a couple of days. I need a minute. And then the one of my other favorite lines is right before the Obito and Kakashi fight. As you were saying, it turned out we were like 3 flaps short of that line. So it was just, all I could give you is death. And we were like, well, we need to fix that. And so it became, right now, all I can give you is just death. Because that filled out the line, but it also filled out the flaps, but it also made the line more impactful. But that was something that we, and I'm pretty sure it was Mary, did all at the same time. We're like, we got to fix this. And so when we finished rewriting it, we did it a couple of different times, and it just sort of encapsulated what was going on. He was like, all right, well, if you're not going to listen to me, I'm going to have to kill you. And so that's what wound up happening. Although he didn't actually die. But we'll get to that later. Ten Tails Jinchuriki, anybody? Da-da-da.
There's actually a technical aspect to this work that you guys don't see, because we're getting original stuff from Japan with a Japanese track on it. Somebody has translated the Japanese, given it to the writer. The writer is supposed to make it fit in the mouths, and it doesn't always work out that the pace of the Japanese stuff works with the pace of the English stuff. And so this will happen where you've got an emotional line that you've got to deliver, and it's 4 flaps over, and you either speed it up and fit it in, or you rewrite it to make it fit in the mouth. But that's the technical aspect of doing all this stuff. It's amazing the work that comes out of it, you know, the result that comes out of it. Because, you know, these are very talented people, and when they get in the studio, it's a joint effort. Everybody kicks in to see if we can get this to work.
Well, and that's why working with you and working with Tony and working with Mary and some of the other directors is a gift, because you guys understand that we know these characters and what they would say and wouldn't say, and you're usually okay with us being like, well, I don't think he would say that, but he would say this, and if it fits, you use it, as opposed to, no, this is what it says on the paper. So, which is why it's so much fun to work with you guys, and we need to do that more often.
What about when you...
I am a nightmare.
What is it when, and I would not know this, and I know this is a hair-pulling out thing for Steve and Mary Elizabeth and all the people who are directing, when you get the Japanese translation and some different writers, different ways of doing it, they would go literally what they just said. And everybody I know who's actually Japanese will say, I can't say what you just said in Japanese because it doesn't translate. Well, I'm sure it's got to be the other way around, where you go, okay, well now the character just sounds illiterate because the words, you gave me word for word what it's supposed to be.
Into the woods we will be going is not a line that you can deliver.
Right.
So, yes, so you have to do it in English somehow. Make it sound like it's real.
And this is why you guys are the Hokages. Everyone give it up for the Hokages, everyone. Alright, so now we're going to quickly start any of the questions. So if you guys have any questions, you guys can start lining up right over here.
First one's always the most difficult. Look at him, he's like, I'm going through the wall.
Hey, Jonathan's my name. Good to meet you guys. I never met all you guys in the same place, so it's a little starstruck here. So I just wanted to know, especially for Naruto's father and the third Hokage, for me, I never thought Naruto had such a story to play in the show, and then I learned like, oh, he's actually a Hokage's son. Okay, so why is he being treated like a stepchild? To me, I didn't understand the dynamic, and then when he blew up to be such a big character and everybody, you know, treated him like crap, I was like, wow. Why is it, I don't want to know your perspectives, why is it that you felt the characters treated him in such a way, you know, even though he had the Nine-Tails Fox in him, he wasn't a bad guy. So I just wanted to know, delivering, you know, each of your respective roles, how did you feel about it?
I thought he was important because they named the series after him.
Well, yes.
I can't come up with a better answer than that. He's, I don't have a good answer for you. What's that? It's a cartoon, yeah, it's another way to go. Repeat your question really quickly, just the end of it. The end of it.
Just the end of it.
Yeah.
I wanted to know, how did you feel about it when you were playing the role?
Playing the role, okay. So, in terms of my character, and you know, just going on what Steve said a moment ago, we don't see the other people. I also don't see the other episodes. So when I was first doing it, I had not seen much anything around it. So my relationship with Naruto was very pure in that respect. And so until actually we did those, then I realized the reason Naruto gets treated the way he gets treated is because he's bitter. Because he's got a nine-tail stuck in him, and it causes problems in his life. And so when you watch a kid grow up and go through teenagehood and all that stuff, they get bitter, they get difficult, and I think that's why. And he was a stepchild, basically. So it's part of the parents being absent and him being bitter about that. So.
Thank you.
I just killed the room, didn't I?
Hello. I have a bit of an easier question. What if you could have any of like the powers from Naruto, jutsu, skills, whatever, what would be like your number one, and what would you use it for?
Yellow flash. You get over there in like a half a second.
100 healings jutsu. I would save this planet if I could. And I mean it, and I try with my love.
I'm stealing one of yours. I want the flying Raijin, just because I would never have to be in traffic ever. Like, you only have to go someplace once, you slap a little seal on the wall, and you go there every day. Tons of traffic saved.
I gotta go with Resurrection. I'm gone, I'm back. You know, it's almost like Groundhog Day, where someone goes, he's dead. And you go, dude, don't worry, he's back in a week. No, but I mean really, because, and this sounds like I'm getting too hippy-dippy about it, the one thing that human beings, I think we all share, whether you'll admit it to yourself or not, is a fear of death and a fear of it ending, what happens afterwards. And in his character, he had to deal with that, but through back and forth, I think he's resolved it, he's at peace with it, and he's finding everything he can do for the betterment of the village, and in a sense, life in general. So, yeah, I'll go with Resurrection.
What he said.
Also, I think we can all agree that that fear of death doesn't kick in until you're like 14. Because everything before that, you're like, I'll skateboard without a helmet. Sounds good to me. What's the worst that could happen?
Jump off a pile and go, hey, it's great.
I once fell out of a 50-foot tree. I did. I landed in a pile of leaves. So there's that. But it might explain some things about the way I am.
So we got that going for you, which is kind of nice.
Thank you.
Good question.
My question is actually for Kakashi. So I know, like, when Kakashi's first introduced, you're introduced to him as this powerful sensei that trains Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura in the beginning, and then goes on, and we learn a bit more about his backstory. So my question is, was there ever a moment when you were recording for Kakashi that I guess like you felt like this deep connection with him at all?
I would say, I mean, he is everything that I would want to be as a human. He's the best friend we all wish we had. He's the big brother we all wish we had. He's the teacher we all wish we had. And under no circumstances do you want to have to fight him. So I would say, yeah, I mean, the more that you discover about him, the more I grew to love him as not just as a character, but as something to aspire to be, because he understands. One of the things that kind of gets confusing is in the beginning is because he's so hard on Naruto and Sakura and Sasuke. He's not doing that to be mean. He's doing that because he knows that there's a better version of them in there. He's just going to find a way to unlock it. And it's different for every person. Like, what works for Naruto is not going to work for Sasuke. I think we can all admit almost nothing works for Sasuke. And it's not going to work for Sakura. But he will make sure that he will do everything he possibly can to make this person or help this person become the best version of themselves by being the best version of himself. Because when he was younger, not a great human being, you know, but as he got older, he realized, you know, maybe I'm on the wrong road, I can use this power for good, and he does that, which I think is something I would like to aspire to be more that way every day.
Thank you so much.
Memories. Well, I love it.
Hello. This question's for Debi May West. Seeing how you were the Hokage for most of the end of the series, what was it like at the end times dealing with a lot of huge political upheavals during the end of the thing, especially with the other Hokages of the other nations?
Say that last part, please, about the political unrest.
Or just the big things that went down at the end of the season and having dealing with the other Hokage at the end of this first
to be
series?
Super honest about it. Again, we come in, it's such a huge story and there's so many episodes, and so I come in and it's like, okay, this is what's happening. There's a war, you're in the middle of it. This is, so I really again, I identify with her strength and that she was put in this position to have the responsibility that she had, and she's very dedicated to the Leaf Village, and she would, give her life, and then even for Naruto. And so playing that kind of role is exciting. I can say I don't, as far as the story, I'm not really understanding your question. You're just asking how it felt for me to be that responsible for it, or what, or...
I guess it's supposed to like just being in a position of power at the...
Oh, I love it. Yeah. Women, I mean, come on. I don't mean to, I'm not like a feminist or anything like that, but, we are living in a world where women, what do you say, Mama, back over there? Oh, okay. They're feminists. I'm a woman, and I'm very proud that somehow I was chosen to play the voice of this amazing woman who had such responsibility, and I feel that way in my life. So the best way I could answer the question is that it was exciting for me as a voice actor to be able to use my gravelly, scratchy, crazy-ass voice to be kind of a mother to Naruto in a sort of a way, and a friend, and also Sakura, and to feel responsible for all these people and to give my life for them, because they're, it's really, in this world, you don't really get an opportunity to do that, and I am kind of hippy-dippy in that way, insofar that I would love to save planet Earth. Weirdly, this is a really weird aside, I was born the week that JFK was shot, and so my mother was cooking Thanksgiving dinner, and when I came out into this world, the entire world was crying. It was the first time that a president had been shot on television, and like the whole world was watching. So I've always felt this amazing weight of the world. I spread love. I really I feel really akin to her. I feel very connected to her. So that's all I can say. I don't know if I've answered your question, but
yeah, you did.
Okay,
Thank
good.
you.
I love you. Thank you.
And I was born when Donald Trump had his first affair.
This is a question for anybody. If Naruto didn't become Hokage, other than Kakashi, what would be your first choice?
I'm gonna say what I firmly believe, and that is Mike Guy. I think he would have been the greatest Hokage of all time. First of all, there would have been a party all the time, and second of all, there would have been like, in order to become a Leaf Ninja, you'd have to beat him at rock, paper, scissors. And what greater test is there?
Great question.
How did you guys deal with Danzo, and how did you guys have to keep him at bay while he had his own interests, but you guys wanted to go for keeping the peace when he wanted to use Naruto for a weapon?
I would say first of all, the idea that there was even like...
He was running his own secretive government. And
yes.
How did you guys say, hey, you, the secret government, don't want peace, but you want to work with Pain, but how did you guys keep him at bay while he was working with those organizations?
I think the safest answer to that is to say that we were aware of it, but also I think that people were aware that Sasuke was on a mission to take him out, and so nobody got in the way. You know what I mean? Like when someone is that, there's only two characters in this whole series that are villains that aren't broken heroes. One of them is Madara, and the other one is Danzo. And so I don't think anybody was too upset when Danzo got taken out. And the fact that there was like a 2%,
right?
Yeah, it happens. There was like a 2-second chance they were like, maybe we should make him Hokage. No, you don't want to do that. You really don't. No. So I think they just, people were aware of it. Like I know I was aware of it. But I also know that it was no secret that Sasuke was on a mission to take him out. And so I think they just didn't get in the way.
How did you guys react to the fact that you guys wanted to get Naruto back before the village?
Can't hear me.
It's okay.
How did you guys deal with the fact that you guys wanted to get Naruto back before the village was destroyed and Danzo killed the messenger. From?
I would say, I mean, at that point, there's only two things you can do. You either give up getting him back, or you go and you get him back. And so we went and got him back. That was sort of, that's really the only choice you had.
Good question.
Thank you. My question is for Tony. For the one shot with Minato, A Whirlwind in the Vortex, have you read that, or did they come to you and see if you want to voice it or animate it?
I'm waiting. I've been waiting on pins and needles, hoping that they animate it and hoping that they make him young and old enough that I can still play him.
Well, it's seeing the
Because if they make him 12, I'm done.
It's when he's a teen ninja kind of coming into his own.
Yeah.
And I think it'd be really cool kind of seeing him from a kid to when we see him as an adult.
I would love to. I can still do a young voice for another 4 or 5 years, but I'm hoping. I'm crossing my fingers that they do it. But yeah, I'd love to. I've been waiting for that. When I heard about that, I got real excited, and but I still don't know for sure what's going to happen.
All right, thank you.
All right, just 2 more, guys.
Hey guys, thank you very much for coming. Naruto is my favorite anime. So, my question is, how many of you relate to your characters? Like you look at your character, you say, "I'm playing myself."
I grew a beard so that I could play him.
My hair is turning white. Does that count?
I think the difference, and I think everyone would feel this, I think as actors, as the series continued, I can speak for myself, I think I started putting more of myself into the character. Because in the beginning, it's like anything else. Everywhere in this panel, we've all done either games or cartoon series or something, and if it goes over a while, it's almost impossible for you not to put part of you into the character. I mean, that's about the simplest way to say it.
I'm definitely not 106 centimeters, but but I also do totally relate to her. I love drinking and I love gambling. And I like helping.
But if you're drinking and gambling, how are you helping?
Oh, you know.
I know.
I don't really gamble.
Well, first of all, thanks for being here. And shout out to Debi Mae West. I heard that last year you were the voice of the Olympics, so that was really cool. And my last question for you guys is, like, since you've been to like a bunch of conventions, what's your favorite fan interaction?
I like that question. I like it when people wash and dress up.
I love when they, I was gonna say, I love when they come, all of you do, most of you are here right now, have already done it. To me, if you just show up, sign a picture and leave, how many of you have seen Galaxy Quest? Okay, great movie. Watching Tim Allen's character just go like this and put it, go like this and put it, I don't see the point to it. Just me personally. And watching a lot of you folks come over and you're just so passionate about what you're talking about. And you're so passionate about, I love this for this reason. And some of you have done amazing artwork and getting dressed up. To me, that's the best part of this. It just is. Because we get a chance to actually go, I guess what I did meant something, And I think that's, for me, that's what the whole thing's about.
Can I start one too?
Insert applause here.
So there's a girl here, there's a couple people here that I've met at other conventions, and I haven't done a lot, but there's a woman somewhere in this room, I bet, and we met at WeebCon last year, and we met one day, and she said, I'm coming back as Other Mother from Coraline. can I come see you tomorrow as other mother? And it was the most fantastic costume I've ever seen in my entire life. And she's here today, and now she's a mother. She's pregnant. She said I couldn't dress up because, and she looked down. And it just reminded me of how, if you do try, you can really connect with the fans as people, not fans. And so I see it in all of us. I have seen some people just signing, maybe because their line is too long. But when you get to actually look in someone's eyes or give them a hug, and I mean, we're all trying to stay healthy and stuff, so it's sometimes, gotta stay our distance, but it's so amazing to connect with the people and look people in the eye and cry. I mean, I've had so many people just bawl when they meet me, and they're like, Lady Tsunade, and it's really amazing. So thank you so much to the fans for giving us the gift of what, and it's a circle. We're in a circle here together.
That's a perfect way to cap it off, guys. Give it up for the legendary
Thank you, guys.
Hokage.